All right, everyone. So Tony Khan talked about Ricochet. Now, why this is a big deal is because Ricochet is a free agent after his contract with WWE was up. So we're going to read what Tony Khan said. I'm a huge fan of Ricochet. I think he's a great wrestler. He's been involved in matches against some of the top stars in AEW. He also has a great history in New Japan Pro Wrestling, as he's been a champion there and a top star. We have great collaboration there, and I love the history of New Japan, and I think he's a big part of it. During a great era where a lot of our top stars were wrestling there, he was a big part of it. I have a lot of admiration and respect for Ricochet, and think he's one of the top athletes and one of those most exciting stars in all of wrestling. So, I don't think anybody would be shocked to see Ricochet go to AEW. Ricochet was one of those guys who I wasn't shocked that WWE, and him didn't continue together, but he certainly has that kind of like Jeff Hardy excitement level, right? Now, obviously, Jeff Hardy has a way more established resume, put it in a bunch of bigger matches and all of that. All I'm saying is Ricochet has that kind of like crazy move, excitement level. And so AEW, I think, would be making a good decision to bring him in because the problem in WWE, and this is probably the reason that the two part ways, was just not giving him the run that I think he wanted. Right? He was not liking how they were using him, and usually when you hear something like that, people start pointing the fingers at WWE, saying, "Oh, they're misusing talent, or they're doing this, or they're doing that." And I look at it a little bit differently. And here's what I mean by that. You know, it's always pretty interesting when, you have the type of roster that WWE currently has and the era that they're currently in, where they have so much talent top to bottom. They have older wrestlers that are coming back every once in a while. They have newer wrestlers. They have kind of, I would say, these veterans that have been there a while, but they're still everyday wrestlers. So you can't really call them old wrestlers, guys like Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, but they're also not new guys, right? So it's just tough to find space for everybody. And, someone like Ricochet, it's tough, to just have great matches and great rivalries amongst all of the people on the roster, and especially when it's this stacked. If you plop the Ricochet down in a time when the roster wasn't as stacked, maybe he gets a better push, right? And I always say, especially in the wrestling business, the beauty of this is that if he goes to AEW and he kind of finds his way and he kind of builds a character, who's to say he can't come back to WWE at some point down the line? Right? With a kind of already established character that fans are pumped about. They're kind of so it's almost like AEW kind of builds him up a little bit and then he continues to move forward. I don't know if he's even thinking about going to TNA, but that would be interesting, right? If he was saying maybe I'll go to TNA, he goes to TNA and now WWE could still have him come over. That would be a super interesting move, right? That would be an interesting thing to do. But as of right now, we don't really know where he's going. But if Tony Khan's a fan, there's a chance he will be in AEW. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you next.